Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar on external attack surface for initial access in Microsoft Azure Cloud. I am Nandini Bharadwaj, the operating officer at CyberWarFare Labs and the host of today's webinar. And I'm excited to have you all here with us today. So, let's get started. Before we start, let me tell you a bit about us. We are CyberWarFare Labs, a UK based company focused on cybersecurity education. Our goal is to help people tackle cybersecurity challenges with practical solutions. We have got two main divisions to our company. The first is Cyber Range Lab. Cyber Range Lab is where you get hands-on experience with cybersecurity. We have built a virtual platform where you can try out real-life scenarios and sharpen your skills with practical exercise. And the second one is upscaling platform. Here we offer a bunch of courses for people at all skills level, whether you're just starting out or you're just a seasonal pro. We have got something for you. Our courses cover domains like ethical hacking, red teaming, blue teaming, purple teaming, and cloud security. And our training services are available to educational institute, government agencies, and corporate organizations. Both online and offline training options are available. So if you want to know more, you can drop us a line at support at cyberwarfare.live. Okay, let's move to next slide. So now let's take a moment to introduce our speaker for today's webinar, Parth Agrawal. Parth is a dedicated security intern here at Cyber Warfare Labs, bringing a wealth of knowledge and passion for cloud security to our team. With a strong interest in the complexities of cloud services provided by AWS, Azure, and GCP, Parth possesses a deep understanding of these platforms. As a cloud security enthusiast, Path insights and experience are sure to enrich our discussion today. That's all about the speaker. And dear participants, as promised, we are excited to share that you will receive your attendance certificate along with the video recording of the webinar. But wait, there is more. Few lucky winners will have an opportunity to win access of our latest launch certification and a bestseller, that is Multi-Cloud Red Team Analyst certification course. The winners will be announced shortly after the webinar, so stay tuned for that. And thank you for being part of this engaging session, and we will look forward for your continuous participation. Without further ado, I would like Part to take over and let's get started.
Uh, okay, guys, so let's start today's webinar. So, as ma'am has mentioned, today's focus is on external attack surface for initial access in Microsoft Azure Cloud. So, this is our today's agenda. First, we cover all the services offered by Azure, followed by an exploration of public URLs associated with some of these services. These public URLs typically have common structure with slight variations in their fields. Finally, we delve into the reconnaissance part where we learn techniques to gather information and perform reconnaissance on Azure services. We have also allocated time for Q&A sessions, which will be at the end of the webinar. If you have any queries or questions, please feel free to ask at the end of the webinar. So let me just take the dashboard of the webinar once. Okay, so all good. We can start it now. So yeah, so today we will explore various methods for conducting reconnaissance on specific Azure services. We will explore reconnaissance strategies for a range of Azure services. And we will also explore various tools. So let's start by knowing some of the services offered by Azure, Microsoft Azure. So in the list, first we have Azure Active Directory. which known now as Microsoft Entra ID, which is Microsoft's cloud-based identity and access management service. It helps employees to sign in and access resources. These resources might be internal, such as applications on your corporate network and intranet, or external, such as Microsoft 365 or the Azure portal, and numerous other SaaS applications. It is designed to help organization manage user identities and provide secure access to resources both on premises and in the cloud. It supports various authentication protocol, including OAuth, SAML, and OpenID Connect, making it versatile for a range of applications and services. It integrates well with other Microsoft services like Office 365 and is a critical component for enterprises adopting cloud and hybrid solutions. Our next service is the Azure Blob Storage. Azure Blob Storage is a service provided by Microsoft Azure that allows you to store large amount of unstructured data such as text or binary data. It is optimized for storing massive amounts of data that can be accessed from anywhere in the world via HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Azure Blob Storage is designed to store data for a wide range of applications and scenarios, including serving images or documents directly to a browser, storing for files for distributed access, streaming videos and audios, and also backing up and archiving data. It is commonly used for scenarios such as content storage and delivery, backup and restore, disaster recovery, big data analytics, and archival. Our next service is Azure Cosmos DB. It is globally distributed multi-model database service designed to enable the creation of highly responsive and scalable applications. It offers a turnkey global distribution across multiple Azure regions, supports multiple data models and APIs, and provides comprehensive service legal agreements for throughput, latency, and availability and consistencies. It is ideal for applications that require low latency data access, global distribution, and scalable throughputs, such as real-time web and mobile applications, IoT, gaming, and retail. It is designed to enable developers to build highly responsive and scalable applications by offering the same low latency access. So next service we have is Azure Container Storage. So it is more commonly referred to into the context of Azure, involves the storage solutions used by containerized applications within Azure. It isn't a specific Azure service named as Azure Container Storage, but rather the use of Azure's existing storage services to support containers. It includes or provides robust storage solutions like Azure Disks, Azure Files, Azure Blob Storage, and NetApp Files. It also we also have Azure Kubernetes services to support containerized applications, ensuring they have the necessary storage capabilities for a wide range of use cases. And the last service we have for today's webinar is Azure Functions. So Azure Function is a serverless compute service provided by Microsoft Azure, designed to run event-driven code without the need to explicitly provision or manage infrastructure. This service abstracts the underlying infrastructure, enabling developers to focus solely on writing the code needed for their business logic. It provides a powerful and flexible serverless computing environment that can handle a wide range of tasks and use cases, from simple event handlers to complex workflows as well. It enables developers to build and deploy some event-driven, scalable, and cost-effective applications without worrying about managing underlying infrastructure. So this is our first segment. So let's move towards the next segment, which we have like publicly available URLs. So these are all the services which come with publicly accessible URLs. Using these URLs, you can pinpoint specific service for a specific particular user. You can conduct web-based searches using tools like Shodan and Census. Alternatively, you can also utilize or create some Google and GitHub docs to gather more information via these URLs. We also have some other services. We have Cosmos DB, we have Active Directory. These are their URL samples, like sample URLs. Let's move forward. So from this point onward, we are diving into the exciting part. We will explore various tricks and techniques for performing reconnaissance. I will demonstrate ways to gather extensive informations using web-based tools like CLI-based tools, some docs, and many more strategies. Let's kick off with our first service, which is Azure Blob Storage. We have already covered what Azure Blob Storage is and its tasks. Now let's delve into the gathering part, gathering publicly available informations. We can identify publicly accessible in blob storages through tools like Shodan. Here are some Shodan queries for it. Let me tell you what Shodan is. Shodan is a search engine. Like it's basically a search engine that allows users to find specific types of computers, devices, services that are connected to the internet. Users can search Shodan's database using some specific filters or some parameters. As you can see here, we have created some of the queries here. So in our first Shodan query, we are searching for some particular Azure container names. So you just have to mention this parameter Azure container name, and you have to give your name which you want to search here. In this second query, we have two components here. First, we have organization, and second, we have ssl.cert.subject. So the first parameter restricts the search result to devices or services associated with the organization name. Here in our case, we are searching for Microsoft. The second parameter, it filters the search result to devices or services where the common name, here CN stands for the common name field of the SSL certificate subject, which matches with the organization name. So yeah, this is the second query. And third query, we are searching for some results in which the title contains some blob storage keyword. Next, we can also collect information through FUFA. FUFA is also a search engine that specializes in indexing internet connected devices. It allows users to search for specific devices and services. It also helps to gain some like vulnerabilities across the internet using a variety of filters and search criteria. So the first FUFA query is used to search for internet connected resources like Azure Blob Storage, where the HTTP response header include the specific header XMS blob type with the value blob. The second FUFA query is used to search for the certificates, specifically for SSL and TLS certificates issued to wildcard domains within the Azure Blob storage services. Let's move on. Then we have some CLI based tools. First, like the tool we have is Cloud It is a reconnaissance tool designed for enumerating various resources and services within cloud environment, specifically focusing on Azure, Microsoft Azure. It aims to identify and enumerate Azure resources such as blob storages or VMs or some identity and access management users and many more things. By leveraging techniques like brute forcing, dictionary attacks, and API enumerations. To use this tool, you need to install it first. Install, like you can check their like main source page. They have depicted the all process how you can install it. So like here you can see the command to get some of the resources. So like first we have this cloudnm.py thing. So this specifies the path to the cloudnm Python script that is being executed. Then we have dash k option, which specifies a keyword or search term to be used during reconnaissance. Here we are searching for Azure, therefore we have disabled the AWS and GCP. Or if you want to search for like AWS as well, you can just remove this disable AWS thing from here. Then it will show results for Azure and AWS both. So let's try this command and see what we will be getting. Uh, is my like VM visible to all? So to save time, I have already executed the command. So you have to like execute this command, and it will show like these results. We have some Azure storage accounts here. It start brute forcing and find some of the storage accounts here. Like some of the accounts are working on HTTPS, which are more secured. Some of them are working on the HTTP protocol. Some of the storage accounts has been disabled. We can't access them, or the storage account is not available now. It will also brute force some of the blob storage services here. You can see. So through this command, if you have like if you want to search for particular keyword or particular company, you can search through this tool. Let's move on with the presentation. Okay. Next, we also have some web-based records. So we have this osin.sh. Uh, this is some third-party website. You can search for some buckets here as well. We also have Greyhead Warfare. Let me show you the dashboard of the Greyhead Warfare. Yeah. So this is the like interface of Greyhead Warfare. You just have to simply search like here. You just have to paste the keyword. Let's try with the cybersecurity. It will give the like like results for AWS services, for Azure, for DigitalOcean, for GCP, and many more platforms as well. You can also like add the file name extensions, something like that. You can add some additional filters as well. Let's keep it simple and search for the cybersecurity. Yeah, so you will get plenty of results for cybersecurity. You can concise your search by adding more filters to it, so it will help you to find your desired one. Yeah, we also have built with a third-party website to do the same work. We can also utilize GitHub and Google Docs to further explore blob storages. Let's see them. So this particular doc here can search for Azure Blob storage containers within the Azure Blob Storage Service hosted on the domain here. This domain blob.co.windows.net. So yeah, so and second we have this FOFA, like give me a second. Okay, yeah. So these are like through this you can find publicly accessible blob storages. You just have to enter the container name here, and you will get plenty of results. We also have GitHub docs here. Uh, this will search for some text files like here for your blob storages on GitHub. You can try them. Actually you can do a lot more things with the docs. You can customize dog by your preference. You can add some other parameters as well. You can add in URL. You can add in title. Many more things. Next service we have is Cosmos DB. So we will be using same Shodan, Census, and FOFA for doing so. We can collect lot more information from here. So you can see three queries here, but they all do same work. So we are searching for Azure Cosmos DB. Yeah, let's move on. So we have some docs here as well to search for some Cosmos DB. Search anything regarding the Cosmos DB. As I've told you, you can do lots of things with the docs. So in the first doc, we are searching for searching for this particular subdomain, documents.azure.com. Yeah. Second, like we are searching for the same. We are searching for cosmos.azure.com. Through the third doc, you can search for some Azure Cosmos DB in title, which has file type as PDF. Yeah. Let's move on further. So we have here Cloud NM tool that we have already seen. Through this tool, we can search for some Cosmos DB, like Cosmos database as well. You just need to enter the keyword here. Yeah, that's it. And it will give you lots of results, and you can search from that results. Next service for which we will be performing reconnaissance on is Azure Functions. Indeed, we will be continue utilizing these same search engines, Shodan, Census, and FOPA, to gather valuable information about Azure Functions. These tools provide insightful details regarding the configuration, deployment, and potential vulnerabilities of Azure Function distribution. So let's start with Shodan. In the first query, we are searching for some particular Azure function name that has Microsoft in it. In the second Shodan query, we have two components. We have organization name and we have ssl.subject. So which will search for some SSL and TLS certificates. We also have one FOFA query here. This FOFA query is used to search for web pages whose HTML body contains the string test in it, in the name of the function which we are searching. We can also collect information by using Google and GitHub docs. In the first doc, we are searching for the Azure function with the given function name. You have to enter the function name here. The second Google Doc is used to search for the web pages hosted on the Azure App Service platform that contain either in the phrase like sensitive information or API key within that text content. This type of search is often used to expose some sensitive data and misconfiguration in web applications. Same, we can also search through GitHub Docs Let's move on to the next part. So we have like covered two segments till now. We have seen what are the services provided by the Azure. We have also seen how we can perform reconnaissance or how we can collect information through internet through browser. So now we are moving into our like final and most exciting segment. Here we are exploring some cross-platform reconnaissance. This is where we uncover crucial findings like publicly accessible blob storages, Azure AD. Additionally, we may discover some publicly accessible Cosmos DBs, its activity logs, publicly exposed Azure functions, and many more. So let's kick off this section by focusing on Azure Active Directory. Yeah. So we will be searching for publicly accessible informations about an Azure AD domain. Interestingly, for this section, we won't require any victim's credentials or external access. Instead, we will be logging into our own account and conduct the whole search. To perform this action, we will need to install some tools. We need to install Microbust tool. It's a PowerShell based tool. Once installed, you will be able to execute the commands seamlessly. Yeah, these commands you can execute through Microbust tool. So Microbust is a PowerShell based tool for attacking Azure. It includes functions and scripts that support Azure services, weak configuration auditing, and post exploitation actions such as credential dumping. So let's see this tool first. So to save time, we I have already downloaded it. So you just need to like clone their GitHub directory, like their GitHub repository. Let me show you their GitHub repo. So you need to clone this GitHub directory by Microbust. Yeah. So once you have cloned it through this git clone command, you need to get into that Microbus directory. After moving to that directory, you need to import some of the modules. You need to import this module, microbus.psm. This is a PowerShell file. Before importing this, you need to like install some of the recommended modules. First module to install is AZ. Second module required is Azure AD. Actually, I already have this module, so I didn't need to download it again. And the last module you required is the MS Online. You can like get this information from here as well. They have mentioned it. You can check this. These are the three recommended modules to install. Okay. So after installing that three modules, you need to import the microbus.psm file. It will import AZ functions, Azure AD functions, and MS Online functions, and some miscellaneous functions as well. After importing and installing all this, you need to like unblock some of the files. For that, we need to execute this directory dash rescue command to unblock some of the files inside this microbust master. After unblocking the file, we can use this command. Sorry, we can use this tool. So let's deep dive into this tool. So we can now use this tool and collect information related to like tenant ID. To do so, we need to execute this command. This command is a PowerShell command that is used to gather publicly accessible information about Azure AD domain. It's a valuable process for security professionals and auditors to understand what information is exposed externally and to ensure it aligns with organizational security policies. So here the invoke Azure AD, yeah, Azure AD int recon as outsider. This particular CMD let appears to initiate a reconnaissance or information gathering operation against Azure Active Directory from the perspective of an outsider without authenticating himself or herself. So, this is the CMD let we will be using for searching for tenant IDs. Then we have dash domain name parameter. So this specifies the target domain for their reconnaissance operation. In our case, we need to enter the corporation name here, followed by the onmicrosoft.com. This is the subdomain of Azure Active Directory, and to get the whole output, whole result in a tabular form, we'll be using this format table thing. So the primary purpose of this command is to perform an outsider's reconnaissance against a specified Azure AD domain. This might include gathering some publicly available informations such as basic organizational details, publicly visible users or groups, domain configuration settings, any other publicly accessible information that does not require any authentication. So as evident in this screenshot, after executing the command, we receive here the tenant ID, tenant name, and some other details as output in a tabular format. We will do this practically. Like after some time, let me give some more information regarding it. Okay, we will execute some of the commands and see some of the results. Yeah. So next we have is this this command is a CMD led from a PowerShell module. So designed this is designed for Azure AD reconnaissance. It helps identify whether a specific user exists in the Azure AD domain and might provide some additional publicly accessible information about the user. This command is useful for assessment, some of the testings. It can also be useful in incident responses. So, but this particular invoke Azure AD int user enumeration as outsider. This CMD let suggests it performs user enumeration against Azure AD as outsider. The username parameter is to enter the email address, which we're gonna see like it's a user. This user exists or not. The primary purpose of this command is to determine whether the specified user exists in the Azure Active Directory domain and potentially gather any additional publicly accessible information about the user. This command might provide some information such as whether the user exists in the Azure AD domain or not. We can gather informations like name, department, or other metadata as well. As you can see here, it has given the true as output, which means the this particular user exists. This is just a sample result. We'll be demonstrating it. Let's move on further. So this first PowerShell command is used to perform user enumerations against Azure Active Directory for a list of users specified in a file. In this particular file, this command is useful for some of the penetration testings or some of the attacking side techniques as well. So this particular get content sub command is used to read the content from the file. Uh, the file here you have to give the path of the file. And here we have invoked Azure AD int user enumeration as outsider. We have already discussed this CMD let. The purpose of this command is to read a list of usernames or email addresses from user.txt, which means this particular text file, which contains email addresses. Yeah. So this is typically done to check if the user exists and to gather any publicly accessible information from it. After getting the username, we can use this second PowerShell command. This command is used to retrieve login related information from for a specific Azure AD user. It is useful for getting some of the credential from that user, some of the details that can be used as credentials. So this get Azure AD int login information. This particular CMD retrieves login related information for the Azure AD user. The exact detail it returns will depend on some specific module and its implementation, but it typically include information such as recent login attempts, login history, or related security events. The the primary purpose of this command is to gather and display login informations for a specified Azure AD user. This can be useful for monitoring user activity, investigating security incidents, or auditing user accesses. Yeah. So in this is the last command in the process. We can use this command to retrieve Azure AD tenant ID associated with a specific user. This command is useful for administrative tasks or to gather unauthenticated access to the particular Azure AD user. This particular get Azure AD int tenant ID, this particular CMD retrieves the tenant ID of an Azure Active Directory user. Sorry, yeah. The primary purpose of this command is to identify the tenant ID associated with a given Azure AD user. This can be useful for administrative security and integration purposes. The output of this command will typically include the tenant ID associated with the user. The tenant ID is a globally unique identifier that uniquely identifies the particular Azure AD tenant. So yeah, after getting all this information, we can perform the subdomain enumeration. So we can use this particular command to enumerate Azure subdomains associated with a specific base keyword, providing detailed output of the process. This particular command is valuable as we are getting the subdomains or services that the particular user is working on. So this particular invoke enumerate Azure subdomain CMD let is to find subdomains associated with a specific base keyword within Azure. Subdomain enumeration is a common technique in the like in attacks to identify the subdomains related to particular domain or keyword. The purpose of this particular command is to start the process of searching for subdomains related to the specific keyword. With the dash verbose parameter, the command will output detailed information about each step it takes, such as DNS queries made, subdomain found, any error encountered, any other thing as well. This can help in mapping the domain space of an organization, identifying the potential targets for further investigation, and assessing the security posture for an organization's online assets. You can see the output in this particular screenshot, it has found some of the subdomains related to our uh, keyword. Like here we have given the atomic as a base keyword, and here you can find that it is like it's working for the on Microsoft, means it has Azure AD user. It's like working on Azure website.net. Yeah, so this is like all we can perform on Azure Active Directory. Let's try to do some of the things. So let me show you like working of it. So we can change the keyword here. Let's put security as a keyword. So here you can see it has started enumerating security subdomains for cloudapp.net. So it has found first subdomain as IT security. Yeah, here you can see we are getting plenty of subdomains. Let's just stop it. It will list all the possible like not possible, all the subdomains which are available. We can also try this. Let me show you. This command. Like this command, you just need to change the corporation name, company name. We can try for some FISMA or something. So you can see like it's a tenant ID for that. Here you can get more information. You can try for other as well. Yeah. Let's move on further. So our next service is blob storage. So first tool we have is Cloud NM tool. We have already seen this tool. You can change the keyword for which you want to perform the search, and it will give you the publicly exposed blob storages. The next tool we'll be using to enumerate blob storage is Microbust. So this tool is valuable to gather information regarding some publicly exposed blob storages. This command likely automates the process of finding Azure storage accounts and blob containers associated with the provided corporation, like provided company. It might try various permutations and combinations of the keyword to discover valid storage account names and their containers. Accessing the URL directly attempts to list the contents of the specified blob containers. If the container is publicly accessible and the storage account and container names are correct, the service will return a list of blobs within the container. So this particular invoke dash enumerate Azure blobs. This particular CMD light is intended to enumerate Azure blob storage containers based on a provided corporation name. The purpose of this particular command and URL is to identify and list the contents of the Azure Blob Storage container, specifically to find exposed or publicly available containers that may contain some of the sensitive informations in it. Yeah. So yeah, this like again we are doing subdomain enumeration on blob storage containers. This particular command is to enumerate blob containers associated with a specific base keyword. This command can get you the blob containers which are publicly accessible. This particular invoke enumerate Azure blob is with this CMD let that is likely designed to enumerate Azure blob storages. The primary purpose of this command is to identify blob storage containers associated with that keyword. This can help in mapping an organization's storage infrastructure, identifying potentially exposed containers, and assessing the accessing the that particular blob containers for further use. Let's move on to the next service we have is Cosmos DB. We are also doing the same subdomain enumeration. You need to change the keyword here through this particular tool, microbus tool, and through this same delete you can gather you can enumerate subdomains uh, as an outsider. Okay, you don't require any unauthenticated, you don't require any credentials for it. Yeah, let's move on. So next service we have is the container storages. So to perform enumeration on container storage, we'll be using uh, Azure commands. To run this Azure command, you will need to install Azure module for your command line tool. Once installed, you will be able to execute this command seamlessly, or you can also use the Azure console CLI. This particular Azure CLI command is employed to list all the Azure storage accounts within the current subscription. So this storage account list, this particular subcommand is used to list all the storage accounts, and this dash dash query. This parameter specifies a JMES path query to filter the output. The purpose of this particular command is to retrieve a list of names of all storage accounts associated with the current Azure subscription. Yeah. So yeah, this command here Azure monitor diagnostic settings. This command is used to list the names of all the diagnostic settings configured at the subscription level within the specified Azure subscription. Okay, so this particular monitor diagnostic settings, this particular sub command is used to list all the diagnostic settings. And this dash dash subscription, here you have to specify the Azure subscription ID. The purpose of this command is to list all the names of diagnostic settings configured in this subscription. You can also see in this screenshot, it has listed the diagnostic setting subscription here. Next, we are searching for we are getting the full ID of the Azure storage account. This Azure command is used to retrieve the storage account IDs associated with a specific diagnostic setting, which is configured at the subscription level within Azure Monitor. It's a valuable tool for understanding where diagnostic logs are being stored and for integration into monitoring and analysis flow works. This particular subcommand monitor diagnostic settings subscription show. This particular subcommand is used to show the details of the diagnostic settings. And in the dash dash name, you just need to specify the diagnostic settings name. The purpose of this command is to retrieve the storage account ID associated with specific setting. Here you can see the output of this command in the screenshot. It has listed storage accounts full ID associated with it. The output format depends on the JSON structure of the diagnostic setting configuration. Now we'll be describing uh, the particular container is publicly accessible or not. This particular command is used to retrieve the public access level of specific Azure storage container. This storage container show, this subcommand is used to show the properties of a specific storage container. In the dash dash account name, you need to mention the account name, and in the dash dash name, you need to mention the name of the storage container, for which you need to get the properties. So the purpose of this command is to get the public access level of the specified storage container. The output of this command would be the public access level of the specified storage container. The value returned would be one of like the following, which could be blob, which indicates that the container is public and can be accessed anonymously. Container, if you got container as we have got in our sample output, it indicates that only blobs within the container can be accessed anonymously. If you got nothing, it indicates that the container is not public and can only be accessed with proper authentication. Now we'll be listing all the containers available in this selected storage account. This command helps us to list all the Azure storage containers within a specific storage account. It is convenient way to retrieve this information for various administrative and management tasks related to Azure storage. The purpose of this command is like again to list the containers. The output of this command would be a list of the names of Azure storage containers within the storage account. Uh, yeah, here you can see the screenshot which has listed some of the storage containers. These are just demo sample outputs. So like now we'll be seeing the store access policies of the selected container. To do so, we need to execute this particular command. And in this particular command, the subcommand storage container policy list, this part is used to list the stored access policies for a specific storage container. The output of this command would be a list of stored access policies for the specified storage container, typically in the JSON format. Each access policy include details such as name, permissions, and start and expiry dates. If the storage container policy list command output returns not empty object, the stored access policy is enabled and not expired. But the verified store access policy has this RACWDL in his output, means it has full access. Now let's move on to the next Azure functions. This particular command is used to list Azure function apps and their associated resource groups in a tabular format. So this particular sub command function app list. This sub command is used to list all the Azure function apps within the current subscription. Here you can see the output of this particular command in the screenshot. It has given the table listing the names of Azure function apps and their associated resource groups. So now we'll be like identifying any publicly exposed Azure function available or not. This particular command here is used to retrieve public network access settings for a specific Azure function app. So like in this, the purpose of like this command is to retrieve the public network access of settings. This settings determines whether the function app can be accessed over the public internet or not. The output for this command would be the setting you will be getting, and the values you will be getting is either enabled or disabled. If you get enabled, it indicates that the function app allows public network access, meaning it can be accessed over the public internet. Vice versa, if you get disabled, it means that it can only be accessed via private network or specific endpoints. Yeah, Azure Function App. Again, we can use Microbus tool to enumerate subdomains to find subdomains for particular keyword. We have already did it. We have already seen it how it works. Uh, so yeah, as we are at the end of our webinar. I like to share some important information. So this particular webinar is a part of series. We have already delivered same for the AWS. If you have like by any chance if you have missed it, you can watch the recorded session on CWL YouTube channel, or you can visit cyberwarfare.live. You will find the recording of the previous blogs in the blog section. We will also be setting up a session for GCP in future. To continue this journey, you can opt for the MCRD certification offered by the Cyber Warfare Labs. This particular certification is designed to cover all three major cloud service providers and is completely beginners friendly. If you are interested in exploring the cloud, this certification is tailored for you. Thank you everyone for your participation. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah, I'm just turning off the share. Yeah. No, no. Yes, Shodan and Fofa are the search engine tools. You can go to their website. Let me show you the interface of the Shodan. Yeah, give me a second. So this is the search engine. This is the dashboard of the Shodan. You can search any query. You can build your query and search here. Let's just try one of the query. Yeah, here you can see we have given the Azure container name. So it will give lots of the results here. You can go in your desired one. You can concise your search by adding more filters here. Yeah. So this is the showdown. So dogs are the queries you will be running. So it's not a command. You will be just searching something on browser with a proper format where we can practice or learn more about cloud. So Mandas, just like this, you will not get free platforms. Like if you want to do so, you can do it in your management consoles given by the Azure AWS. You can try some of the free services. It will not charge, but you can also opt for like MCRD certification. It will help you to it will guide you how you can perform some of the tasks. Sorry, yes, I'll be replying late. The cost of the MCRTA, you can visit the cyberwarfare.live. You might get some of the discounts there, so it's not fixed. I guess the fixed price is like you can see there, but you will definitely get some discounts over there. So those websites are not specifically designed for red teamers. Teamers or defenders can also be used, but we are using some of the resource for our own purposes. Okay, yeah. So to use Google Docs, you just need to go to go to your browser, and you just need to search it over there. Let me show you. So we can take this, and you just need to search it here. Yeah, it will give plenty of options here. You can type your test or something. It will give the results for that. So we have this blob.core.windows.net, and in URL we need test. So this is giving you the results for it. You can concise your search by adding more parameters here, like in title or some other parameters as well. uh, Look, cloud platforms are secured, but there are ways you can trespass or you can do some of the enumerations there. So you need to be more. You need to apply some of the policies or some of the permissions you need to set so that the attacker can't get into it. So the winners will be disclosed soon. You will get the details very soon. So like C3SA is a beginner's guide. Like it's a beginner's like guide. It will guide you from very basic level. You can like we can't compare C3SA like with CISA Plus like for by CompTIA. The material you will be getting is a huge material, like lots of material you will be getting for it. Yeah, and we have two versions of 3CS C3SA as well. Like you can go through it for the like information related to any certification. You can visit cyberwarfare.life. Yeah, thank you, Mohammed. Okay, that was people to list blob storage. Yes, bro. I have like we can. Oh, sorry. Uh, we can list blob storages resources, but again, the you need to find the particular blob storage which has public access to that resources. If the user has like allowed to view the resources, then you can view that particular resource as well. So yeah, you need to concise your search. So we are not like attacking here. We are just finding some of the ways to make sure that while when we attack, it will be helpful. Yes, Shodan, like it's accurate. You will get information, but again, like you need to like what you will be in giving as input, you will be getting as getting something in an output. So if you are like make sure that you have entered all the details in the showdown, like all the filters, all the parameters properly, you will be getting some like constructive results out of it. Presentation also yes bro, thank you Swaru. I have like explored some of other tools, but I found that microbus tool is best. There are some other tools as well we can use to uh, like audit Azure. Yeah. Uh, sorry, I didn't get it. Like work with a company. It might be worth mentioning. Shodan also has a very nice CLA tool. Yes, sure, sure. Will be like we can explore it as well. Yes, you will be getting this material. We are planning to make a documentation or a place where you will get all the things related to all the cloud providers. Once we complete this GCP part as well, you will be getting all the contents, all the recordings, all of the material. Yeah. Yes, bro. Like C3SA certification will help you in your like gaining knowledge, will help you from your start. So it will really help you. You can start by taking C3SA. Then once you like get to know more things, yeah, get to know about the things, you can take higher intermediate or advanced level certifications where you will be getting more information, how you can perform attacks, how you can defend, and everything. Yes guys, any other thing? Okay, if we need coding experience for learning security, so as a beginner I suggest like there's no like advanced level coding will be required. uh, it's good to have some basic knowledge about coding. It like if you want to create some Python script or Bash script, you need some of the coding skills there. Otherwise you're good to go. Oh, okay, OSCP and PNPT. Let me show you like we have some of the certificates for it as well. So yeah, this This Windows internal red team operator, you can go with this, or you can go with this stealth cyber operator. So this will like the level of this certifications is really advanced. You will get to know more like things here. Yeah. Like CISA Plus is not literally same with C3SA. C3SA is a beginner's guide. It will guide you in such a way how you can become security analyst, and or how you can perform all the security things. The cloud technology can be an industry that look for a lots of employees. Yes, bro, definitely. Cloud technologies like you can find like cloud technologies are evolving. Everyone is moving from their on-premise infrastructure to cloud infrastructures. It will look for employees as well. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Or like we can wind up this session. Okay, then we can I think we can wind up this session. We'll be soon with the GCP session. So please register for that session as well. You will be getting really good content over here. Okay. Till then, goodbye. Like, we'll be doing it soon. Okay. Bye, guys.